Do you have a peak jump starter with Inflator 600 peak amps? Well, if you do, stay tuned on how to fix it. This is Peak's 600 peak amp model Peak 600 Giant POS. This thing barely lasted a couple years. Thankfully, I got it when they were like half price, so it's, you know, you wonder like, well, okay, I got my use out of it, and do I just toss it? But nah, we can fix this baby with replacement batteries, but the trouble is trying to find the right one. But let's take it apart quick. Oh geez, I already did. A couple problems you're gonna run into though is you will need a I have no idea what size this is. But either way, it's usually when you get into a longer screwdriver length, they usually get fatter. So you just may not have this because you need to get into some longer, thinner holes. Never thought you'd have to do that, huh? Make sure there's usually a sticker up here. You're gonna have to take that off to get that one off. 1, 2, 3. And then once you take the cables off, there's 2 on each side there, and then 1, 2, 3. So a bunch of them. And if you're wondering, do not adjust your computer, monitor, TV, phone screen. I'm using my camera phone that has a couple little spots in it, like there's one and there's one. You're just gonna have to deal with it, because if you're staying tuned to this, you just want to know how to fix this dang thing. So after the screws are off, we'll peel it apart. To make it easier, I already did the replacement, so we're just kind of doing a walkthrough on unhook these 3 harnesses. Gonna layer flat here. Let's see if we can find the junk battery. So inside you'll find this battery, which it's like, well, we can buy those. That shouldn't be too difficult. If you're ever familiar with actual POS, right? Power stations, you know, if you plug your computer in, that's what's inside. I actually got one and I hook it up to the kids' John Deere Power Wheels. It was about the same size battery, so something like that. Or if you game cameras or other thing, I'm trying to think of, it's used in some ice fishing dealy boppers too. But so these are readily available. The problem is this is a 10 amp hour. Focus. Maybe. So it's a 12 volt 10 amp hour battery. The problem is actually finding another 10. So what I had to settle for, see if I can pull this back out. Maybe. Man, we are in trouble focusing. What I ended up having to settle for was a 9 amp hour battery. Is it really going to make that big of a difference? In my opinion, no. It's maybe just capacity. Would it be nice to get 10 or higher? Sure. 9, at least it's close. Some of the other ones I couldn't find where it was 7, 7.5, 8. Like, I don't want to go that low. Your next problem is though, the terminal tops that they used inside, where they connected the screws, were like that. Trying to find those similar tops is, if you want to try to stay the same, is what is going to be beyond impossible. I found one place online, so if you do like jumpstart battery pack replacement batteries and stuff like that, there's a few websites out there, but for some reason Peak, which I thought would be a common enough name, you can't find stupid replacements. I forget there's a terminology for this type of top, so I was able to find one website that had it, and that battery was even only a 9 amp hour anyway, so I figured, you know what, I guess. The trouble with that one, which they weren't expensive, I have 2 packs. There's pack number 2 down there that I have to fix yet, but I could get 2 batteries shipped for, I think, maybe 60 some bucks, which I guess isn't horrible. At least I can fix 2 packs that are worth more than that and still have them, you know, being used. Or better yet, this one was, if there's a Fleet Farm in your area, in most other places, these are 25 bucks a piece. Well, what's better yet, which I don't have the coupon, but if you have, obviously, a Fleet Farm that has a gas mart, go up go inside, fill up with gas, you get a free popcorn bag, and on that popcorn bag is any purchase over $50, you get $5 off. So because I needed 2 batteries, bought 2 batteries, and probably not a Kit Kat, but I'll just say I was buying other things. So I easily spent $50, but at least you get 2 batteries for $50 plus $5 off of that. So you're ending up getting them, you know, not including tax, but I mean, you're getting at least 2 batteries for $50. So I'm saving some money versus ordering the other ones online. So fantastic, right? Show this part quick. That was the only, these I think, it came right out. The only tricky part was getting this foam piece back on, and I'm going to do that before I slide that back. But being that this has the inflator, and it does need space, like I tried measuring, not that I was afraid to jimmy rig something here, like if I needed to trim something out and get a bigger battery, there just was nothing else that was really going to work. Like, well, you know, that's fine and all, but I really was willing to try anything. You know, get different width or height or whatever, but at least those work. Like I said, the trouble is, I guess I could grab this one down here for an example. The problem is, what you're going to buy is the ones that basically take a terminal top. And then your other, oh, okay, use a terminal. Well, the problem is they have these nice ring terminals already on here. So kind of what I had to do was basically, I kind of trimmed out a C kind of area so that the bolt would kind of slide in there a little better to connect both positive and negative and tighten the crap out of them. And I don't have any worry that they're going to stay tight, and I'm not going to have to worry about that aspect again. If anything, I'm just going to have to worry about replacing maybe a battery in the future. But so realistically, the fix for these, not overly difficult as long as you have a retailer that would have these batteries in stock and you're willing to do a little jimmy rigging to get them to connect to this. So you could have easily snipped all this off and did a terminal that way to do it, get it back on. But this is a much more secure fit, being that these get jostled around, and with the inflator, you know, just nothing's really, yeah, things are moving around. So that's secure. And I wanted to get just hopefully a quick rundown before I put the screws back in. Did a little test, obviously, make sure that, see, we're full. And I think I ran the inflator. Yeah, that loud thing. But I think there's some how-tos on when the inflator goes bad and some other things. But if I ever get to that point, I have a second pack. I got a second pack just like it. I got a bigger jump pack. I actually got a fourth one that I keep at work, so I guess I could always steal that one back, being it's technically mine. But and there was, for some reason, again, Peak. You could find a bunch of YouTube videos on other brands, but not this Peak one. And like, you can't tell me this has never taken a turd on anybody. So, or maybe they just figured it was really easy. But at least now you have a quick rundown of what I did. It's not that difficult. And if you're one of those that are kind of like, oh, I don't know, you're afraid to take things apart and not quite sure, not that difficult. Just a bunch of screws on the back side. Unhook these harnesses so then you can pry this battery out. It took a little bit because it was glued on the plastic part and the battery part, so it took some effort. I wasn't quite sure how they had that secured in there, but and then just unscrewing both of these posts and rescrewing another battery on, and we're going to screw this back together and put her back into service. So if for some reason you have any questions beyond what I tried to mumble and explain through, post them below. If you made it through almost 10 minutes of me blabbering, I'll give you a thumbs up. Have a good day. Good luck.